What is up, everyone? Welcome to the UnderDog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore,
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Salestrina, and Robert
This is
Votes.
muscle memory.
How the heck are you? Antonio
What's
is
going
not
on?
here.
Fantastic. I wish I was Antonio.
I
That'd be
wish.
cool.
I wish we had 4, actually. That'd be kind of hot.
That would be cool.
Yeah, if Antonio was also
1, 2s.
So the Leafs are horrible.
here.
Horrible. Me and Nolan were talking about it. We kind of want to see it go to game 7 and then they lose.
The most
So,
Leafs thing ever is win tonight,
yes.
lose game 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Game 7 at home, rip their hearts out.
Well, Robert, was it after they lost game 3 or was it after they won game 2? I texted Robert. I was like, I can't wait for the Leafs to blow this.
It was after they won game 3.
Yeah, so
Because they won
they won 2 in a row and then
in
lost
Florida.
3 in a row.
Yeah, well, it's just
Yeah.
funny because the first 2 games, they were like not huge underdogs, but they were decent underdogs at home both games. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, all right. Like, that's kind of interesting. And then they win both games, and I'm like, maybe they win this series. And then they just go
Yeah.
3 times in a row. Like, good job. Like,
Yeah, they are winning tonight, though.
you do think so?
I know.
Toronto's winning tonight and forcing game 7 and then losing.
Wow.
The problem is the Panthers with momentum. I just don't. They know how crucial it is to win this game tonight, and I just don't see them.
They're kind of just like old Tampa Bay. They know when to strike. Like they know when you're fucked type of thing.
Absolutely.
I just think if you're Toronto and you lose 4 times in a row, like that's crazy.
that is bad.
But
That
like
is
really bad.
You expect nothing less from them. Like that's
I know.
that's what they were always gonna do.
I know.
Florida is heavily favored tonight too. They're minus 220.
What is the outcome with Toronto after this year? Because you gotta blow it up. Like,
detonate. Yeah, detonate.
I mean, they've been saying that for so many years now. They're
okay,
like, if you lose to Boston again in a game 7, you're gonna blow it up, right? And they're like, yep. And then they lose, and then they're like, we're not blowing it up. They're like, we're just kidding. It seems like they stick with the same formula, hoping that it's gonna stick, and then it never sticks.
I agree.
how many times do you have to learn the same lesson over and over again, and then like it's just gonna be the same?
They're gonna sit there and say, well, at least we made it to the second round. That's what they're gonna say. It's like, okay, good for you.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews is going to be 40 by the time you get to the conference final, maybe? I don't know.
I know. He is so good. Matthews is so fun to watch. He's a great player.
What's the finals gonna be?
I have Oilers Panthers.
Okay.
I think I had Dallas and Carolina.
I do love Dallas. They lost that game last night, but
I hate Carolina. I hate watching
Really?
that game. I don't know what it is. I despise watching that game.
No, I hated them in them versus the Capitals is like the worst matchup ever.
Hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. That's what that is.
Just boring, yeah. It's just boring. You know they've only gone past the second round once since Ovi's been there? And it was the
year they won.
And it was the year they won, yeah.
That's insane.
In 20 years he's been there, however long, they've only gone past the second round one time.
I would not have guessed that.
Well, they had a Maple. If you remember, they had a Maple Leafs curse where they just lost to the Penguins in the second round every year.
Yeah, I do remember that actually.
And they had some good teams. This team
remember
was good
Holtby?
too, but Braden Holtby was a beast.
He was number 1 in the league. He was scary. He was like a Vasilevsky.
He was like kind of the opposite of what Connor Hellebuck is, where like he was just not that great, and then the playoffs started. He was like the best goalie on the planet.
So what happened there? Yeah. Because round 1 for him was putrid. Like I know they ended up winning the series, but like, come on, like.
Oh yeah.
He just up 6 goals a game and like a 700 save percentage in where were they? In St. Louis on the road, like.
Yeah, they should have never gone to Game 7 with St. Louis. And
no,
St. Louis should have won that game. They choked that game away.
They were a second away from winning that series.
Yeah, so I mean, they should have gone out in the first round, but I mean, now here you go. You're trying to force another Game 7, and we'll see how it goes. But Connor Hellebuck is just a regular season merchant, I think.
We got like 3 weeks in a row of insane like playoff hockey and UCL and like playoff basketball. Like there was like so many good moments in a row. There was that game. There was it Colorado? Yeah, Colorado and Dallas Game 7. there was a couple NBA playoff games that either went to Game 6 or Game 7. Like, it was just like a week.
It was Cavs and Pacers Game 1.
Cavs Pacers Game 1, Celtics Knicks Game 1 was crazy. Like,
yep.
What was the first round?
Both games were like 20-point comebacks.
Didn't Denver have a crazy game? I thought Denver had a crazy game.
Denver Clippers game. I mean, Game 7 wasn't a good game, but they just like put their cheats on the Clippers. Like, it was crazy. I don't know. There's just been so many good games this playoffs. Honestly, like this playoffs has really been good.
Oh, for sure.
The Clippers were never winning that series, in my opinion.
I thought they were. Healthy Kawhi, it's one of those things where it's like a shooting star. You see it every so often, and when you do, it's like you capture lightning in a bottle for a little bit. But they got to Game 7, and then James Harden was like, "Oh yeah, I'm bad. Like, I'm just terrible.
I'm tubby." Yeah, he forgot he was tubby for a little bit.
He does that every Game 7 too. Listen to this stat. He has, I want to say it's 24 games now in the playoffs with 4 or less field goals made.
That's insane.
Holy shit.
So 24 times he's gone out there and scored 1, 2, or 3 field goals, or maybe 4. Like,
really?
What? Yes.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's a bad stat. That's a bad look.
Remember the year they lost when they were up 3-1 against Golden State? Or Golden State was up 3-1 on... Wait, what was it?
Golden State was up
3-1 on them, and then they forced a Game 7, and they just choked it, and Golden State won. Didn't that happen multiple times with them?
They've gone to Game 6 or Game 7 in like 3 or 4 series, like Harden against the Warriors, and none of the times he could do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Some of them I don't blame. Like the year Chris Paul got hurt, like it's kind of, but still, like you had so many chances, and you're on.
And the year they had KD was like,
Golden State. I think that might have been the same year, but
was it?
I think because I think KD was out and Chris Paul was out, but at the same time, like I don't know. Chris Paul was a huge part of that team. They won like almost every game in the regular season that year with him and Harden playing each other.
And when are people going to start just saying that Kawhi sucks?
I don't know that series was on Kawhi.
No, it's not on Kawhi, but I mean, it's been a lot of years now, and he has not had the same juice that he had when he won in Toronto.
That's never going to happen again.
No.
After 3 knee surgeries, you're done. You're cooked. Like
yeah. I think like it's like that like 3 that they had there in the. I'm surprised that they even went to the playoffs. To be honest.
Wow, yeah. I mean, Harden played great in the regular season. Harden had he went like 20-12 in the regular season, or 18-12 or something like that. Like
as he typically does.
Playmaking, like he was the leader of the team when no Kawhi was there, and then Kawhi came back and they started playing really good at the end of the year. And then they get into the first round and like they were holding their own. It was 2-2 going back to Denver, and then they just couldn't win a game on Denver's home court. So
then what about your Celtics, man?
It's looking slow.
It's unfortunate. I mean, they're still alive.
I said if they win tonight, they're winning Game 7. I thought for sure they were winning Game 5. That's just one of those where like you're playing for Tatum, you're at home, everyone's behind.
That was such a Vegas trap.
Yeah. And everyone's like, Knicks, give me the Knicks. And no, that wasn't the
When I saw the line go from 3 to 5.5, I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, literally.
I think like 90% of the bets are on the Knicks.
But the entire pressure of this series is on the Knicks tonight.
Yeah. If they lose this game, they're going to be shitting their britches.
Shitting for Game 7.
Yeah. And I don't know how Boston can pull it off.
What are you going to say, Bob?
I think Jalen Brunson likes this moment. He's so clutch. He loves this shit. It seems like, I don't know.
I love all the comments where it's like, I'm tired of this tubby fat kid backing like Peyton Pritchard down over and over again. Like, it's just annoying. Like, so many people say that, and it's just so funny. Like, he is just tubby and plays like he's at the park, and then he just does a turnaround left-handed jumper, and it goes in every time.
Every time.
And then Tatum's probably out next year too, right?
He's out the whole year for sure.
That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be Jaylen Brown's time.
There's an argument of just blowing the whole thing up.
Really?
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
I mean, your window's not aligning anymore, and
you probably get rid of Porzingis.
Gone. Drew Holiday gone.
Derek White
retired. Derek White, you have to keep. He's too good not to.
Yeah.
In my mind. Unless someone blows you away with an offer, you keep him.
And
Is he a free agent?
No, he's still out like a couple more years. I want to say.
Okay.
Well, they just signed him to an extension after they won.
So,
I mean, I think
I don't
Peyton
know
Pritchard was a
is
pleasant
Tatum ever
surprise.
gonna get back to this level?
You never know. You won't know until he actually comes back.
Yeah.
So I think
I agree.
I think you get rid of Porzingis. You probably get rid of Drew Holiday, and then keep what you have together. Kind of, take a run at it next year with what you got. No one's going to be expecting much.
They'll be like a 5th seed or a 6th seed and lose in round 1 or 2. Like that's the best case scenario next year.
And what's good is that no one's going to expect anything from them.
Just call the Mavs. They'll make a stupid trade. Like,
yeah, get Luka.
Bro, they got the first pick. Oh my god,
that was so rigged. I immediately texted the group chat and went rigged.
It just is though. Like, is it not?
It is. It is.
Or no, I said that Luka trade makes a whole lot of sense now.
So they have like the background like of when the ping pong balls come out, and like they're like,
I love this.
They're all looking around like as the Mavs are about to get the first pick, and then I guess like the Mavs GM when the last ball came up, he's like, it's gonna be a 7, which was like the Mavs ball, and then a 7 comes out, and the guy next to him was like, huh? Like, no, literally, Zach Lower. I listened to somebody who was in the room, and he was like, "Yeah, the Mavs GM looked to the guy next to him and was like, it's gonna be a 7," and then it just came out.
I'm making side bets. Like he already knows it's coming out, and he's just like, "Yeah, dude, I'll bet you $1,000 right now that it comes out our ball." Everyone's like,
and like Ernst & Young audits it. Like, what is that? Like, did you know that or no?
I didn't know that.
I saw that.
Ernst & Young is like the third party auditor that does it for them.
When they were floating around the idea of getting rid of Luka, Adam Silver definitely was like, it'll create a lot of buzz for our league, and we'll give you the number 1 pick.
Well, think about it. Like all the stories were we're not gonna like ask any of the other teams for what they would give up. It was just straight to the Lakers.
It was just the Lakers.
And they're like, all right, Anthony Davis for Luka. When you could have gotten so many more picks or so much more from a lot of other teams, and they didn't.
So, do we think LeBron had a hand in it too?
LeBron always does.
He's like
the coach.
He's le owner, le GM, and le commissioner apparently.
The commissioner.
I think he had something to do with that.
Funny. Like,
yeah, it is. It is so funny. I love those memes.
That was crazy though.
Late crybaby, like those are good.
Late crybaby.
Oh,
that is so good. No, that's crazy though. Rip Wizards.
Yeah.
Like
and Hornets and Jazz. Like all 3 of them had the best chance, and then they all the Hornets were 4, but they all fell 3 spots or more. So.
Yeah, like GG.
Sucks to be you.
Sucks. But if I'm Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Best news ever.
Well, there's no scenario where you can trade him, I don't think.
No. Well, there's too much potential.
Right?
He can be so good.
Him? Trade the number 1?
Like for Giannis? Like, is that crazy?
No, that's gross.
Sal,
really?
This thing was this was not set up the way it was set up for them to trade it. They're picking Cooper Flag.
I don't think they will, trust me.
They're like, we're gonna give you a skinny, younger, more athletic Luka if you trade Luka to the Lakers. Yeah. They were like, okay.
Although I do see your point, like trading a rookie who has not played in the league yet for Giannis, like I do see the value there, but like it's too big of an opportunity for the franchise. Like,
but then think about your front line is Giannis and Anthony Davis. Like, who's scoring?
I know, but don't they get hurt all the time? Like,
Anthony Davis will get hurt.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they're gonna play 50%.
Especially if Giannis is there. If he knows that there's someone else there, he's getting hurt like 3rd game.
But the games still play, they'll be really good. Like those 10 games, it'll be really good.
Remember when him and Boogie Cousins were in New Orleans, bro? They would take turns.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They would take turns. They'd be like, "All right, I'm gonna be hurt for the first 40 games, and then you tap me out when you come back."
It's funny because like they were actually really fucking good together.
They were so fucking good when they were playing together and both healthy, but it was for like 10 games.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It is fun to look at like Joel Embiid stats, like how much he's made on the bench. Like hundreds of millions.
Like sitting.
Just saying. Oh my
You know,
god.
the NBA where you only have to play half your games and you make hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
do you shorten the season? They'll never do it, but would you?
I mean,
I would.
shorten it to what, like 60?
How many teams are in the? Genuinely, you play 58 games. You play each team once at home and once on the road. I think that's a fine solution.
That's
I don't
not
think they'll
bad.
ever do that though.
That's not bad.
There's too much money involved in
They already have the
changing how
TV
many
deals.
games
Yeah,
you play.
They already have the TV deal signed, and the networks aren't paying full price for
because
losing a third of the
TNT's gonna
games.
come back and be like, and ESPN's gonna be like, what the fuck? No.
Yeah, you're giving us a refund on.
You're
on
gonna go
this,
tell
for sure.
Disney that you're shortening the season and like taking away the revenue. They're gonna
Yeah,
be
Hitler's
like,
gonna come out with a shotgun and like
holy
shoot everybody.
shit, dude. They're gonna be like, no. They're like, what are you, faded? Are you blacked out? That's why baseball will never do it. Baseball will never do it either.
See, but like,
How
much of a toll is baseball really taking on you? Like, what, you're standing in the outfield?
It's nothing.
Like,
but yeah, guys still get hurt somehow.
I mean, that's any part of sports, but like, how much of a toll on your body can you really have from standing for what's a half inning? 10 minutes, 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, you stand for 8 minutes, you don't get hit, and then you go sit down, and then you have to pick up a bat.
You go sit down and get to just munch. You get to just munch tobacco. You munch bubble gum. You munch sunflower seeds.
Like it's your fucking.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
It's your dinner. Yeah.
Yeah. You could literally eat chicken wings in the dugout if you wanted to. No one would care. Guys go back in the clubhouse. They're probably playing Xbox down there.
People light other people's cleats on fire. You seen the hot foot? Like that?
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
No other game where you can do nothing for probably half the game.
It is a joke.
It's shortening the season. It's shortening the season to make it more entertaining. The NBA is to shorten the season so that there's less injuries, but you can't guarantee that there'd be less injuries if you make it less games.
Here's my biggest problem with the NBA, and there's no fixing it. You don't need to watch the game until there's 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Yeah. The first 3.5 quarters do not matter in the NBA. You could be.
How do you fix that?
You can't.
You gotta hope that they fucking care. They don't care. That's the problem.
My whole thing is, even if they care, even if they were locked in, a 12-point lead in the third quarter is nothing. Like a stop and 2 threes, it's back to a 6-point game, and you're right there. Like,
because one of two things happens: either it's a close game, and then they start caring in the fourth quarter. Like they make it a close game by accident. They don't care. They just are shooting threes back and forth, and then they're like, oh, shit, it's a 3-point game heading into the fourth. We should probably try. Or it's a blowout in the third quarter, and the team that is getting blown out doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Because in college, the reason why college is so good is because a lead is never safe. Like, if you're up 20, like we saw it in March Madness, if you're up 20, it's not really safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the second half. But like if it's the third quarter in the NBA and they're up 20, that game's over, bro. Sometimes even by halftime, if they're up like 25, that game's over.
Sometimes, but then you look at the Celtics game and they were up 20 with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. So I don't know.
Yeah. But when was that? When was it? It's the playoffs when they care.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in the regular season.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like every once in a while you kind of see it, but like if they were actually truly caring, it would happen a lot more often.
Yeah. But if like the regular season, if you're up or if you're losing by 20 and it's like late in the third, fourth, the injuries are it's too big of a risk. You have to take your starters out and just lose the game. Like you can't even risk playing your starters a minute more than they have to.
I think if there was an agreement where I know that they've tried to do this in the past where they were like there's no like rest days or anything like that, like, but guys get pissed. Like no one is able to agree on it in like the Players Association because they're like, no, we don't want to get hurt, which I get it, but at the same time, then what are you paid to do?
Yeah,
come to work, dress cool, and take Instagram photos.
That's kind of what it is. Like
dress cool.
Yeah,
the culture of it has like promoted that.
It's the lifestyle. That's all it really comes down to.
It is. And then in the NHL, you see guys playing through like broken ribs and shit. Like they're like punctured lungs.
They're like fucking medevac to the hospital halfway through the game, and then with 2 minutes left in the third period, they're like taking a shift out there.
Yeah,
Like,
Medivac.
there's literally a guy with a stick sticking out of his forehead, like bleeding and shit, and then he's like, "Yeah, let me get back in there."
It's actually crazy.
So that's what happens.
No.
I mean, we've talked about it a bunch, but like that's really just the main difference is like the players actually give a fuck.
What's like the most?
Yeah.
What's the most like fun finals that it could be?
NBA or NHL?
NBA.
Probably
No,
Knicks, Timberwolves, maybe.
Knicks Wolves? Yeah, I think Knicks Wolves too.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Timberwolves there for sure. I feel like Ant
They
has played really good.
They made a huge trade before the year, Towns for Randall, and it's worked out for both the teams.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
So them playing against each other, it's like, all right, who made the better move? Let's
would be a good
battle it out.
storyline.
I'm so rooting for Minnesota over OKC though, unless Denver somehow wins. I don't think they will though. But
I think if it's Denver and OKC, I really would much rather see OKC, just because they haven't won anything. And like, I don't know, Denver is just so. I hate watching Denver play.
Yeah.
I don't like watching
Play it
OKC play. Honestly, I don't know what it is.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I like watching them play.
They're just kind of like all like Shy just gets fouled every time. He's kind of like Jalen Brunson. Like Chet looks like Slender Man. Like I don't know. Just they don't do it for me.
Yeah.
Do you think they would ever change like the fouls, like make it just less?
That's a whole nother conversation that they need to have. I mean, that's just to make the overall product better, which I think has taken a huge hit this year. Like people really didn't fuck with the whole NBA regular season this year, and like you're right, it's just because of the whole foul thing, bro. You're like, you don't have to watch to the last 5 minutes. That last 5 minutes is just as long as the whole game.
And then they review 100 times too.
Oh my god!
And then the challenges.
The real thing is like I don't know how they can go. Like there'll be a half where they like don't call a foul. Like they'll let them play. Then they'll come out in the third quarter and someone puts two hands on a guy and immediately they blow the whistle and call a foul. It's like
it's inconsistent as fuck.
From quarter to quarter, it's inconsistent. Like
yeah, because the refs do the same thing as the player. They don't care till the fourth quarter either.
That's so true, actually.
when their bets start getting close, they're like, oh, okay.
They're like, all right, slow down a little bit. Like, whoa.
Like, wait a minute. I think they need to really have a serious conversation with the refs, being like, okay, we're gonna ease up on calling fouls, overall, and then getting some sort of expedited system with some of these reviews.
Yeah,
they need what the NFL has started to do with like the sideline judge or whatever. We said that from the beginning. Like there just needs to be somebody looking at replays constantly.
Yes.
And if they go to it, they're like, okay, it's OKC's ball. They don't have to go to the monitor. They don't have to take 50 minutes looking at the time clock.
What the hell's that all about? Like we're really just gonna pull up a screen and be like, hey buddy, like with your 80-year-old eyes, like see what you can see. Like someone made the call for him. Someone do it. Not him.
Yeah, and I think every sport,
just let him hear it. Like
every sport, there can be this implemented for sure.
Yeah.
NFL did a great job last year.
Then they'll pan to them watching the replay, and it's like the worst replay you've ever seen. Like the broadcast shows a really good replay, and then they're zoomed out like a gazillion yards, and they're like, "Oh, I can't see that."
And they're using that little spinny thing to adjust the time.
They love that. They love the spinny thing.
And then they pull up that little microphone.
They used to never do that. They just call it and be like, "Yeah, I got fucked." Now they sit there and explain it. They're like, "Oh, you got fucked."
Yeah, I think they need to get rid of that. They need to get rid of that altogether. Same with college basketball too. College basketball, that was a problem too. It's not just
I love
NBA.
in soccer and MLS now they do it too.
It's so quick.
They'll go to the monitor and they'll be like, after review, it's like just point to the spot or don't point to the spot. You don't need to explain it to me. Like,
well, one of the best things they did in soccer was the rule about don't call it offsides if you're not sure, like the sideline refs. Yeah. And then like they are able to like go back and see it.
I agree with it for the most part. When it's very clear, just put the flag up. Like
which they do. They do that.
They sometimes don't, though. They'll let it run for another 30 seconds.
Well, the problem with that is they've adjusted the offsides rule so many times that no one even knows what's offsides anymore because they're like, it's not the keeper, it's the last guy, and then like it's.
So, in the Premier League Sunday, one of the long story, but I'll try to shorten it. Some guy ran offsides. They were playing on. He ended up like tearing his quad or something. It was like the striker for one of these teams. He's really good. The flag goes up way after the play, and the guy's just on the ground, and he has to get subbed out. The owner of the club after the game like comes on the pitch and is like trying to scream at the second referee. He's like yelling up a storm, and the coach had to like literally get in front of him and be like, "Dude, I know you're pissed, but like go back to where you came from. Like go back to your box, or like go to the dugout. Like you can't just fucking walk on the field and start screaming at the ref." But like he came on the field hot and bothered about it, and I would have been the same way. It's like you see probably your best player go out there and get hurt because the ref doesn't want to make a call. It was clear as day offsides. They don't put the flag up, and then he blows out his leg doing that. So
yeah, I think there's going to be pros and cons to like everything that they do, but I just think there needs to be an expedited process, and like maybe it's like I don't understand why they don't. Is it because they don't want to have too much up where you can't see it, so people can just say it's rigged? Like, is that what it is? I'm like confused as to why they don't do it. Do we want refs sitting there looking at the monitor for 5 minutes? Do we really want that?
I don't want that.
I know nobody watching wants it, but does the league want that? I would assume no.
No.
It doesn't really benefit. It doesn't benefit anybody, honestly.
Yeah,
it just kills the momentum of the game.
I like the element of like. I do like the element of refs, though. I don't like a game being called like. Maybe it sounds silly, but like completely perfect. Like I think there is something to sports and refs, like
that
you're always gonna get that.
Is like a So I don't know.
Well, like I think next year baseball's going to an automated strike zone. Like
they're already testing it, right? In like the minor leagues.
Yeah.
But isn't it a skill like that catchers learn to like shape or frame the pitch?
Yeah.
So like that's like a cool thing. Like that's like you can get good at it.
Well, there's a video overlay of like catchers 10 years ago and catchers now, and like the catcher 10 years ago was like catching it and like maybe moving it. Now the ball will be like down here and they'll like snap it up really quick. Like it's like maybe that was like if you're an ump, you're like maybe that was a strike, and they probably steal like 7 or 8 of those a game, and that's different. Yeah, so
see like that. I feel like that's a skill. Like that should be allowed.
I
like that.
The only thing I like about it is the fact that like they'll call a strike and Aaron Boone comes charging out to the umpire and starts like yelling at him. You won't get that anymore.
He's my least favorite. I hate him.
But like I like that about it, where like it's the medievalness of baseball, where like if one little thing happens, the entire bench is clear, and then the bullpens come running into the infield, and by the time they get there, it's over. It's like, dude, that shit is so fun.
The bullpen's running out. It's like, guys, I know you just want to do something, but like, get back in there, please.
Like, if it's an actual brawl, like I get it, but when it's just like a little, like someone like maybe pushes somebody or like someone gets hit and they come running down, it's like so funny when they do that zoomed out angle and they're like, they're just like jogging. You know, they're fucking huffing it, dude. They're like, they get there and they're like, it's over, shit, and then they gotta go back.
So funny. I feel like it's a long enough run to be like to start out mad, and then by the time you get there, you're like, I don't even.
You're like, fuck, I don't care anymore.
Unless you go to a baseball game, you don't realize how far that run is.
Yeah. It's far. That's crazy.
I love how it's never a run either. It's just like a light jog from the bullpen. Like,
yeah, because it's still baseball players, so they're still really tubby, most of them. In baseball, where you can be tubby and it doesn't matter.
Literally.
Who's the best team in baseball, Sal? The Dodgers?
Right now, you can make the argument for a couple teams. Tigers have had a great season. Like, and that's not something a lot of people would have said before the year, but Tigers pitching, they're fielding well. They did a couple new hit, like Glaber went in there and is playing really well. Dodgers are obviously one. Padres have played really well. Mets with Soto.
What's wrong with the AL East? Why is it hungover?
I wish I had a tangible answer. I mean, Baltimore was supposed to be really good, and they're the worst team ever this year. They just don't win games.
Yep.
I don't like Toronto's manager. Tampa Bay is playing in that weird part, so I guess you can pretty much cancel all three of them out. Like Yankees not being better than they are, I don't have a good reason. I guess Devin Williams has blown like 4 or 5 games for them, their new closer. So you'd put it partially on that, but also like they haven't really pitched well in the games that they don't hit. They'll pitch well, so it's like they'll get pitching and then not hitting, and then hitting and not pitching. So
They haven't put it all together.
Yeah, they haven't put all the pieces together. It's kind of the same thing with the Red Sox too. Like the Red Sox have played well. Like it's not like they played bad. It's just like they'll put up 6 runs, and that's the game they give up 8 runs. Like Crochet's pitched well, and other than that, they really haven't gotten too much from the pitching staff. And then when they do have a lead late in the game, one of their relievers blows it almost every time. So it's inconsistency mixed with not getting timely hits when you need them, I would say.
So you think that they'll figure it out?
I think it's more likely that the Yankees figure it out than the Red Sox figure it out.
The Red Sox, to me, just the last 2 years at least, have been destined for 500.
Well, every time they did above or below 500, they go right back to 500. Like
yeah, because I think they went on like a 2 or 3 win streak and then immediately lost 2 or 3 in a row right after.
Yeah, they were 22-20, and then they lost 3 in a row to the Tigers. They just got swept by the Tigers, so they were 2 games over 500, and then they can't go much more than that. And that's, like you said, that's been the case for a couple of years now at this point.
I don't know, man. What's the most exciting matchup we could see in the Stanley Cup final?
Oilers, it has to be the Oilers.
Panthers.
I think Panthers rematch.
Yeah. No, I mean Bobrovsky. I'd love to see how Bobrovsky does against the McDavid Draisaitl. Although they didn't really produce in the last 2 games.
Oilers
we saw it last year, didn't we?
No?
Yeah. No, we did see it. Yeah. We did see it last year. And it went to game 7. It was fucking awesome.
Oilers Leafs wouldn't be that bad of a series.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oilers Leafs would be electric for Canada. I mean, the crowd would be insane.
It'd be finally
do they hate
coming
each
back
other
home.
or not really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do.
They do. Canadian
Leafs.
teams hate each other.
Yeah, I mean they don't hate each other as much as like Oilers and Calgary hate each other, but like
yeah. That's the Battle of Alberta.
You're getting to a point now though where like every team hates each other kind of. When you have to play a team about 7 times every time, you start to fucking hate each other for sure.
Dallas and Edmonton played in the conference finals last year, right?
Yeah, so we get a rematch of that too.
Yeah.
I just don't trust Skinner for the Oilers. To win the cup, I think you need a goaltender.
It's hard to trust them.
It's hard that Picard went down because I feel like Picard was playing better, but he got hurt, so then they had to go to Skinner.
Yeah,
that goal where he came out like 20 feet in the Vegas game and then gave up the game-winning goal. Like, this isn't soccer. Like, what are you doing?
I'm honestly surprised that Vegas went out the way that they did. I thought they would have a better showing.
Oh my god, yes.
I feel like ever since they won the cup, they've been kind of sorry.
This year they were really good though. They had a good chance this year.
Such a good team. I thought they were the best team in the West coming out of the first round. I thought they were like so good.
What's ironic is to me the best looking team from the first round was the Kings, and they fucking. But
yeah,
that series against the Oilers was one of the best series ever.
They started
so good.
They started off belt to ass, and they're like, "Damn, they're just better than us." Like Edmonton is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kicked their ass in the first few games.
Yeah, they killed them. They killed them game 1 and
Edmonton was sleeping. They thought they were gonna get away with an easy one.
Yeah. Then they sat up in the chair.
Yeah. I mean, Winnipeg, dude. I don't know if Winnipeg can beat Dallas 3 times in a row.
No, not with Buck. Not with him in that. They can't.
Because Ottinger is also very good. 2 very good U.S.-born goalies.
But then, but I don't know. Then Hellebuck gets hot in like the next couple of games. Like,
I mean, he did have a shutout.
Say Winnipeg wins the next 2, and like he puts up like 1 goal in the next 2 games. Like, I wouldn't love that if I was Edmonton going into that series.
I will say though, if they do force a game 7, that game 7 is gonna be something to watch, dude.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a good game 7. And Winnipeg too.
Yeah.
Oh, it is in Winnipeg. Good. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was the other way. All right.
Winnipeg's contending with the
They got the
President's Trophy.
Yeah, they got the presidents.
The curse is still not intact yet.
Yeah, we'll see.
Road.
I don't know. They definitely are the better like skating team, but Hellebuck back there, I don't know. You just need a goaltender. Like you're gonna give up 2 to 3 goals. Like you're gonna give up 25 shots.
I think
It's
a game
just, like-
7 would be very tightly contested because I know Ottinger and Hellebuck are both gonna like bring it for game 7. They're
I
both the
hope
type
so.
to like really lock in when like they need to.
Yeah, but I think that's why the Leafs have no chance.
The Leafs have
Like-
0 chance.
I don't know. Wall is like, eh.
Is it Wall or Stoll? Oh, Stolarz got hurt and had to go to the hospital. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, so it was Wool last night or the night before or whatever.
Yeah. Bennett strikes
but-
again. Sam Bennett.
Oh my god.
The guy is an
guy.
absolute fucking asshole, bro. Like, okay, so we're just gonna believe that these are all accidents, all of these different times that he's been a piece of shit.
It's ridiculous.
Remember last year when he punched Marchand and everyone was like, he didn't punch Marchand. Like everyone was like, because it was Marchand. And then he literally elbows Stolarz in the face, and he has to throw up in the bench and go to the hospital. Like, I don't know what more we got to do for someone to at least fine him or suspend him for something, bro.
Who was the other guy that was like notoriously dirty? Is it Tom Wilson that I'm thinking of, or was it?
Oh,
someone
yeah.
else?
Yeah.
No, Tom
Capitals.
Wilson is just.
But he's been good. He's been good recent years, but he definitely is still an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, he was famous for just running guys.
Yeah.
Like they get rid of the puck, and 5 seconds later, he's just crushing them into the board. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like crushing numbers into the boards. He was big on that. Sam Bennett loves an elbow or fist to the face.
Honestly, wouldn't it be? I know we said this already. Wouldn't it be perfect for them to win Game 6 and lose Game 7 at home? Like that is just what they're made for. That is their DNA to its core.
Toronto will burn to the fucking ground.
They will burn.
Honestly, if I was them, I'd be like, "Can we play it in Florida? Like, I don't want to go home. Like, can we stay here and play Game 7?"
Yeah, like it's warmer down there. It's nicer down there. We'll just play down there.
Like if they lost, they'll be like, we'll go home in like a month. Like we don't have to go home right away.
Like, why do we gotta fly all the way back? We don't gotta do that.
They're already packing for vacation. Like they don't even bring their gear.
All right, Sal. I know you didn't want to talk about NFL without Antonio here,
but
we did just get some news about Brock Purdy.
Signed a deal?
Yeah, he signed an extension.
Oh wow.
What was it? 265? I don't remember exactly what it was.
Ew, really?
265. Holy fucking shit.
What are they doing?
He's the 7th highest paid quarterback right now.
Well, RIP the San Francisco 49ers, unfortunately. You can't lock yourself into a mediocre quarterback, and that, my friends, is a mediocre quarterback. He is only as good as the pieces around him. You know what the correct thing
is for 5 more years.
You know what the correct thing would have been to do? Let him play, and if he sucks, you put Mac Jones in, because Mac Jones was destined for that offense. And I'm not a Mac Jones guy. Kyle Shanahan loves Mac Jones, so I'm shocked they signed Brock Purdy to this deal.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's still funny that like Trevor Lawrence and Tua are making more than him. But,
holy shit.
I mean,
Trevor Lawrence is making more? Oh my god.
Wait, Purdy's making more than Trevor Lawrence, or Trevor Lawrence is making more than Purdy?
Trevor Lawrence is making more than Purdy.
That makes sense though, right?
And
you're
Tua.
paying Trevor Lawrence more than $53 million a year? That's a joke. That is a joke.
I mean, I don't remember when he signed that deal, but
that's horrible.
That's horrible.
I mean, I think we're just looking at the future for Brock Purdy. He's going to sign this deal and then be terrible for the next 2 years.
Well, not only that, they can't sign players now. They're not going to have any cap space. So their receivers are going to be dog shit. McCaffrey's going to be gone in a year. Like,
McCaffrey is like, dude, he's 1 injury away from retiring, I think.
He's 1 injury away from being Junior Seau. Like, not gonna lie. Like,
he's potato.
Yeah, like,
And then the Patriots are favored in 11 of their games this year.
It might be a little too. I'd have to look at the.
Sal, are we back?
Pull up the schedule. Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up.
There's no way.
I'll play
we're
win or
global.
loss right now. Tell me the games and where, and I'll tell you win or loss.
Hang on, I got you. 1 second.
11-6 from fucking 4-13 last year sounds pretty not realistic.
What the hell? Computer is being slow as shit.
They play the Vikings first.
No, they play the Raiders first. The Vikings are probably preseason, so go 3 games down.
Wait. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, they play the Raiders. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
They'll win against the Raiders week 1, so 1-0.
Dolphins.
Where?
At Dolphins in Miami.
Lost. They hate playing there.
They do hate playing there.
Steelers home.
Win. I don't even know who their quarterback is. No, they're the shit. Like
They still don't
Just
know.
the way you said win was.
Mason Rudolph. Like, come on. Like, we're
Mason
not doing
Rudolph
that
for
again.
Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers is done. He's not coming. At this point, I'm fully convinced he's not playing.
How
this
long
year.
does he have? Like a month?
It's Aaron. He could say the day before the first game of the season I'm playing, and they'll probably take him.
I think he has a deadline. I think it's like the end of June, I think is what he said.
Then he'll extend it and be like, "Just kidding. I'm at the end of July." Actually,
He's like, actually, I need more time on my ayahuasca hut.
2-1.
He sends it by messenger pigeon.
They play the Panthers next.
In Carolina.
Yeah.
No, in Foxborough.
3-1.
Bills in Buffalo.
3-2.
I do like.
Saints
Hold on though. I do like that game is in Buffalo early before it gets cold.
Yeah. Then
True.
then we done them late too at home probably. I'll wait. Who were they
Get them
playing?
week 15 at home.
They play the Saints after the Bills.
4-2.
And then they're at the Titans.
5-2.
Then they play the Browns at home.
6-2. All right.
Falcons at home. I think they probably lose that
Falcons
game.
at home.
Yeah, the Falcons don't want to come to
they
Foxborough. No, the Falcons don't play good in
Don't be
Foxborough.
crazy.
No. The Falcons aren't
Don't
that
crazy.
good. The Falcons are not that good.
No, they're not that
No,
good.
you're right.
Well, for this game show, we'll give them a loss, 6-3.
Because
I think
remember
so.
too, they're going in with like kind of a rookie quarterback. I mean, I know he did play a little bit, but he's going to be brand new.
Those are sharp teams so far. That's actually.
They do have a very favorable schedule. I'm looking at it right now. They do have a really
Then
good
they
schedule.
play at the Buccaneers.
That's a loss.
6-4, I guess.
Then they play the Jets at home.
7-4.
Then they're at the Bengals.
7-5.
And then they're home against the Giants.
8-5.
Yeah. Bye week, and then they play the Bills at home.
So they have bye week, and then they play Buffalo at home after the bye week, Sal.
That might be close.
8-6.
Yeah, they still lose. It's close, though.
Yeah.
I would not.
then they play-
I honestly, I'm going to say it now, hot take. They're beating Buffalo twice.
Twice.
No,
Wow.
They're beating them
such
both.
a bad
They're
take.
beating them both games.
One of the worst takes.
They might split. They're not beating them both.
They're
times.
beating them both games.
No, Nolan, the one earlier in the season is the Sunday night game.
That's fine.
Hmm.
That's fine.
In Buffalo? No,
want-
they're losing
I want
that
everyone to see
so
it.
hard.
I want everyone to see it.
Okay, after the Bills, they play the Ravens.
Lost.
In Buffalo. Okay, in Baltimore. And then they play the Jets in New York.
9-7. One
And
game
then
off.
then they play the Dolphins at home.
10-7.
You think the Patriots go 10-7?
I just told
That's
you.
that's actually not bad.
10-7.
I'm thinking
and
12-5, but
that might get you in the playoffs. Honestly.
Nolan, they're not going 12-5.
I'm so back.
He's all the way in the deep end already.
That's crazy.
Someone throw him a buoy, please. Like you can't. Like, come on.
I'm Andrew level. I'm Andrew level for the Patriots this year. I'm fully back, bro. After 2 years of being like, wow, the Patriots are so fucking bad. This year, I'm very hopeful.
Well, it's one of those things where you just want it to be the case. Like you
want
probably
it to be the case.
You probably kind of think it, but I don't know that you really think it. Maybe you do.
I will say it's probably 70% heart, 30% with my brain that I say that they're gonna win 11 or 12 games. But
Fair.
If they go 10-7, I will be more than happy with that. That's That's a playoff spot. That's a wild card spot, probably.
That should be a playoff spot.
Yeah, that's wild card.
Yeah,
they'll have to probably go to like Baltimore or something and play, but whatever.
Hey, Mike Vrabel's gone to Baltimore and won as a big playoff dog before. He's not unknown to that.
Yep, very true.
My hot take would be they win when they play the Bengals at the Bengals.
Everyone's gonna throw tomatoes at me. This has nothing to do with the Patriots. I don't know why I like them. I think the Cowboys are gonna be good this season.
Yes. Sal always picks one team. No, Sal always picks one team that is like really dog shit that no one likes, and he's like, they're gonna be good this year.
I don't want to die on the Cowboys hill, but it might come to that point.
It was Carolina, and now it's Dallas.
Yes, it was Carolina 2 years ago, I think, though.
Yeah. So who was your team last year? Was it Cleveland again?
Yes, it was the Browns.
It usually is Cleveland.
Cleveland.
You pick them after their week 5 or week 6 win. You're like, they're winning out. Like, they're going to the playoffs. They're not losing. And they lost every game.
Jameis comes in, and I'm like, they're the best team ever. I've never seen a better team.
I'm telling you, if the Patriots win week 1 in convincing fashion against the Raiders, I'm like, dude, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. The last year team was Arizona. That's who I love. Remember, I loved Arizona.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
And they were okay. They weren't good, but they were like all right. They didn't make the playoffs.
The year before Carolina, wasn't it the Saints? Because you had come around on the Saints, and you were like, the Saints are actually gonna be good this year, and then they
were horrible that year.
Yeah, because you had like spent every year on the podcast talking about how bad the Saints were.
That's probably the only year I was on the Saints, and that was their worst year other than last year.
When we started the podcast, you fucking hated the Saints, and they were still good because they still had Drew Brees.
For no reason. I was like, yeah, the Saints sucked, like 4 wins this year, and then they would win 12 games, and I'd be like, they still suck, though.
And they were getting, like, stolen from... That was when we got stolen the Tom Brady and Drew Brees Super Bowl.
With the DPI?
That was like the next year after we started the podcast.
Yeah. Well, the other team I do it with is the Steelers, because their win total is 9 every year, and I'm like, this motherfucker doesn't just win 9 games every year. Like, he doesn't just go over 500, and then every single fucking year he's gone over 500. He's got 9 or more.
It seems like this year they're doing everything they can to make sure that everyone thinks that they're not going to win 9 games,
and then they somehow will. And Antonio will be like, over. He just wins.
They're like, we're going to get rid of both of our quarterbacks. And get this, kicker, we're getting rid of our top wide receiver. Who's our quarterback? We don't know, baby. It's probably going to be Mason Rudolph. And then we're like, they're going to win 4 games, and they win 9 games. We're like, what the fuck?
Literally.
What is happening?
It makes no sense.
It makes no fucking sense, bro.
That is funny.
What's your hot take then, Sal? Did you have a hot take?
Robert or me?
You're way too early NFL hot take.
Wow.
I'm already getting jacked up for it, bro. It's insane.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Whenever we do a podcast, like when it's the off season and we start like tickling and talking about the NFL, I'm like, dude, I start getting like an itch in the back of my neck. I'm just like, oh.
I guess my hot take is the same one from after the Super Bowl. I don't think the Chiefs make the playoffs this year.
Oh, we're going with the old reliable.
That's so bad.
That's Nolan's take every off.
I'm with you. Hey, I didn't say I wasn't with you.
I'm always telling him he's an idiot for that one.
Hey, I'm not against it.
I think eventually either Mahomes' injury, Kelsey takes a step back, their defense as a whole can't be as good. Every team that loses the Super Bowl always has a terrible next year. They haven't lost the Super Bowl since the Buccaneers won. I think it's just
going to be the AFC Championship the next year.
They were bad during the regular season though. I'm
horrible.
Not, but they were like 10-7 or 11-6. They had a very
okay. So if they go to the AFC Championship this year and lose, are we saying that they had a bad year, or is it just based on their record from the regular season?
That's not a bad year. If you make it to the AFC Championship game and lose, that's not a bad year. You're one of the last 4 teams. If they go to the playoffs and lose in the first round, that's a bad year for them, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If they sputter into the playoffs And like,
I think at best they make it to the first round of the playoffs and lose. I don't think they're making the playoffs this year, though.
I think the one thing I can say with confidence is that they will not get the number 1 seed this year.
Yes. Well, think about
not.
Their division used to be 3 cupcakes. Now you have Pete Carroll. I don't think the Raiders are that good, but Pete Carroll and Los
give
Angeles
them fits.
At least we'll make it a tough game. Denver's come around completely, and they signed new guys on defense. They can give them a run for their money.
Yeah, now the Chargers are going to be good again.
And now and I said this when Harbaugh signed, in the next 2 years they're getting to the Super Bowl. I don't know that they can get to the Super Bowl, but AFC Championship game for the Chargers this year, if you want a hot take, I don't think it's out of the picture at all.
I don't think it is.
I like that one, actually.
I think
they're gonna ground and pound. They're gonna be a team you hate to play. You don't want to play that team. They're gonna be miserable to play.
I would love to go back in every episode of the podcast where we said the exact sentence of, you know what, the Chiefs are going to be bad this year.
Yeah,
and
just
we
put
splice it all together. It would probably be like a 20-minute video of us saying that.
But like 80% of it would be you.
95% of it would be me. I've been saying that every year we started the podcast. Like for the past 4 years, 4 or 5 years we've done the podcast. They're not that good when they come into the year. It's insane.
Yeah, I was adamant after the Super Bowl though that they were not making the playoffs this year, and I'm standing on business on that. They're not making the playoffs this year.
Okay, who's the team that's going to be the surprise?
Do you have one, Robert, or no?
I have none. I don't know. Let me think.
I don't know if
Jacksonville. Jacksonville. No.
Carolina.
I like Carolina. I mean, the NFC's pretty weak. Bryce Young played very well down the stretch last year. He actually looked very good. Like he turned a corner and could be a franchise quarterback. I would not be I would not be shocked in any way if they made it.
You wouldn't be shocked
if they made the playoffs?
Yeah.
Not shocked. Like if the Giants made the playoffs, I'd be shocked. Like that.
Okay.
Like that's shocking. If
I
the
do
Jets
think,
made
I do
the
think
playoffs,
the Giants are going to be better this year. It's hard for them to not be worse than last year, but
Correct.
I mean, I think that they're going to be better this year.
I agree.
They finally got rid of Daniel Jones. They finally got rid of the one piece that I think was really fucking holding them back. And they have upgraded their QB room. So like it's.
Are you a Jackson Dart guy?
I am a Jackson Dart guy, but I don't think he necessarily needs to start. I think Russell Wilson will be just fine for them at this point. They're not going to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be decent. They're going to at least be better than they were last year. And I know that's not that hard to do with how dog shit they were, but like I think that they will have a better shot. You have Russell Wilson throwing to Malik Neighbors, they're gonna score some points.
Yeah.
As much as everyone hates Russell Wilson, he's doo-doo, but like Daniel Jones was a different level of doo-doo. Russell Wilson is still a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So like he has that where he's like the next level of doo-doo, you know what I mean?
You think they would split games?
I mean, if shit's going really bad, if they're like 1-4, 1-5, they'll probably throw them in there.
It's not like one would play one half and one would play another half. That's just
they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're
like,
not gonna.
Like, if you're down like 21 after the half and like you're like, yeah, it's a couple games into the season, you're not playing well, then they would do that. But But then the next game, they're not like going back to Russell Wilson to start again. Like
they might just try to do what they did with Drake May, where they just kind of just feel it out and see how it goes, and then if shit's going really bad, you just throw him in there and see what he's got. Yeah. I think either way, you're not expecting much from this year, so like just go out there and play and like I don't know, see what you can do.
If you're asking for my team that no one expects to make the playoffs, it would be the Cowboys. But like I already kind of said that. If you want a different answer,
I mean, I think the Cowboys is a good answer.
Is Dak healthy?
Yeah, he should be.
Should be. Is he ever healthy though?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want a different answer. I guess the Bears. Like
that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for. Okay. I was gonna say the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, like of all the teams, I think that's just like the dark horse that makes sense. Like year 2, Caleb, maybe he takes a step forward. You got the new coach. Like you love Ben Johnson, so
I do love Ben Johnson. I think I think they will do good. I think like if they can make the playoffs, it'd be a huge win for them. If they like sneak into a wild card, like that'd be huge for them.
I don't think they're a pushover.
No.
I mean, I think they're a decent team. It's just a matter of like, if Caleb's really that good, he needs to show it this year. If he doesn't show it this year, he's not. Like he's just not it. Like he needs to prove it this year. If there's no proving it, I don't think he's good.
Yeah.
I don't think magically year 3 he just takes the leap. He's gonna show it this year, or he is what he is at this point.
Yeah, because I was saying like last year when you were really high on them, I was like he doesn't have to be good this year. Like he just has to be like okay and show glimpses because it's so hard to just judge a quarterback off their like dude, Matt Eberflus was the worst fucking coach I think ever.
If they don't give up that Hail Mary, both their seasons change.
Their season is totally different.
They probably made the playoffs, and I don't think Washington has the fucking Linsanity run that they did last year.
Yeah. I mean, well, talking about Washington, they're gonna be pretty good too.
You love Jaden Dan. You were high on him. I'll give you the credit.
I wanted the Patriots to take him, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. But I do like Drake May.
I have no problem with Drake May at all.
That was a good QB class. But I think Jaden Daniels was the one that was like, holy shit, he is
the one
amazing.
that got away.
He's the one that got away for sure.
I mean, he went before us, so it's not like we really had the chance to take him, which should make you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think oh man, Washington gets me going, bro. They're a good fucking team, dude.
What about Detroit? Are they bouncing back? I feel like that was
Detroit's always gonna be good.
Like that was such a depression.
I'm low on Detroit this year.
Yeah, I can see that. I honestly am too. It must deflate your tires so much to lose.
You lose
that
both
game.
your coordinators too, and you probably have two of the best coordinators in the league. Aaron Glenn goes and coaches the Jets, and Ben Johnson coaches your rival. I like Dan Campbell, but how much X's and O's he actually does with the team, I don't know.
I don't think he does.
I think he just screams at everybody. Which works, but you also need people who can steam up the offense and defense.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be bad by any means, but they're going to take a step back for sure.
And their schedule, so they have a week 8 bye, and their schedule is not the easiest.
Well, they play a first place schedule, so they're going to play all the best teams in the league.
I mean, they got to play Green Bay, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Kansas City, and then the Bucks in their first 7 games.
Green Bay?
That's tough.
Green Bay could be really good.
They could be really good.
They made the playoffs. I was going to say they didn't make the playoffs. They did.
Yeah, I agree.
People are kind of out on Jordan Love right now.
I love Jordan Love.
I think he's better than what the consensus is right now.
Yeah,
I do too. I think he hasn't gotten a fair shake.
I'm not a Jordan Love defendant either. Like I'm not one who gets up on the fucking trial and I'm like I love Jordan Love, but like a lot of people after the end of the season and that playoff game are like, is he even good? Like, or does he kind of stink? I'm like, he definitely doesn't stink. Like,
no, he's not bad.
He's probably top 8 or not, probably top 8 in the league.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about the Eagles either.
Oh, never. I mean, they're probably the 1 seed. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be between them and Washington. I don't think
they're coming
the Lions are not gonna win 15 games again.
No.
They might win like 11, to be honest. I think I would be very shocked if they won like 8 or 9 games. Like that would be a shock and that'd be a complete failure. But
if there was a drinking game for the amount of times I've said this cumulatively in the podcast, everyone would be hammered. The NFC is horrible. Every year I say that, but they always have 2, maybe 3 good teams. And then the AFC has every good quarterback. They have Josh Allen, they have Lamar, they have Joe Burrow, they have Patrick Mahomes. Whereas like the NFC has Dak or Brock Purdy. Like those are your best quarterbacks. Like
I think what hurts the NFC is the fact that like they have 2 divisions that are really stacked and then 2 divisions that are really bad.
Yeah.
So like the NFC North is really good. Like they're all getting better. Minnesota had a crazy year last year. And then you have like the NFC East, which is always crazy. Even though the Giants and Cowboys kind of stink it up for the rest of them, you still have the Eagles and the Commanders that are like really fucking good. And then you have like the NFC South, you have the Buccaneers getting 10-7, winning the division. Like in their 2 games ahead of Atlanta. Like that's crazy. You can't have that. You need to have like better teams more spread out across the whole conference, which is what the AFC has. Like the AFC has like all 4 divisions are like competitive.
That's true.
That is true.
And all those teams are getting like better. So like you look at like, I don't know, like the Bucks, Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans, like are they like getting better? Like are they like getting better? You know what I mean? Like I'd say Atlanta's been the only one that's been like building to get better.
I love Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, you know,
He can be so much. He can do so much.
They got Michael Penix now. Like they are at least doing things to get better.
If I end up taking, or if I end up having the first overall pick, which somehow happens like every other year in our league, I don't understand it. I'm taking Bijan Robinson this year.
Yeah, I love that pick.
It should be Saquon, but I don't give a fuck. I'm taking Bijan.
Yeah, I know the obvious pick never works out.
Well, I took Christian McCaffrey.
Everyone. Oh yeah, you have to. Yeah, fuck Sal. Take McCaffrey.
The bane of Sal's existence.
Sal, he would have had the single best season of all time if you didn't take him. Absolutely. Well, he would have averaged 40.
The year before, if you looked at his game log for fantasy, it was like 30, 30, 35, 28, 38, 50.
Yeah.
Then I draft him. Then I draft him. Hurt. One. Hurt. Like, nice, man.
One.
Yeah. Like,
he accidentally got
sick.
Oh. Every year.
So funny.
I don't understand. That league, I always draft like shit. It's the weirdest thing.
So funny.
Oh.
Completely random.
Well, that's all I got for today, gentlemen.
That's all I got.
I'm good too.
As if I was gonna.
Final score for both games tonight.
Ooh.
Before we hop off.
Let me look.
Leafs 3-1. I'm with you.
Really?
Dad. Yeah, I'm with you. Well, unless you don't think so. They're winning tonight. They're winning tonight, losing game 7. That is so perfect.
Okay. I agree. I would take the under.
Under, okay.
I would take disagree. The under. I think this might be like a wild game.
Like a 5-4?
Like a 5-4. That was exactly what I was thinking.
I can't wait to tune in.
I think that favors the Leafs. If it's a wild 5-4 game, the Leafs should win.
If the Celtics win tonight, they're winning game 7. So I think if you're thinking they win the series, you have, well, obviously, but they win tonight, they're winning someday. So
I completely agree.
I don't know. I think like that's all Cinderella stuff. I think the Knicks win tonight, bro.
Yeah.
I think they close it out.
Probably, but I'm not admitting defeat.
Like, you ever see that meme? You ever see that meme of the guy sitting up in his gaming chair? Like, that's what happened. The Knicks sat up in their gaming chair. Now that they lost game 5, they're like, oh, you're not going to give it away easy? Like, okay, we're going to fight. They're going to fight now.
Celtics 118, Knicks 113. Celtics won.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knicks 123, Celtics 108.
Oh.
I think it's like 100-92 Celtics.
Oh, it's just a rock fight. They just can't score on.
I will say, though, if the Leafs, back to the Leafs game, if they break Bob early, if they score in the first 10 minutes, they win the game. If Bob goes down early, they win that game.
You got to break him early. You got to score on him in the first period. The first period, you have to score on him.
Yeah, if you're scoreless in the first, you lose.
Last one, Jet Stars tomorrow.
Ooh, I like the Jets. I'm going to take the Jets. It is the Stars. The Stars are definitely winning, but I'm taking the Jets.
There's a game 7 either way, and if I'm picking the Leafs tonight, I'm not taking Winnipeg tomorrow, so I'll take Stars.
Okay.
I'll take Stars 4-2 tomorrow.
Okay. I actually like that strat. I agree with that.
I think we might get 2 game 7s.
Really?
Not impossible. Not impossible.
I think Winnipeg forces a game 7.
Oh, do both Canadian teams lose though?
In game 7?
Yeah.
Yes. The Oilers are going to be the last Canadian standing again.
I think everyone wants. I think everyone just wants Edmonton to win at this point.
Oh yeah. No,
Florida and Carolina should be a decent series if that happens. I think either way, if it's Leafs, I think it'll be a good series. I think it's a better series if it's Leafs Carolina. But if it's Florida,
Yeah.
Carolina, I think we'll get a decent series also.
Yeah.
Because Carolina and Florida, they're going to be throwing some bodies around. They're both very physical.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think that's going to
I
end
feel
up
like
being a
Carolina's like
dogfight.
the Ravens, though. They just get to like the second or third round, and then they're just like, I forgot how to play. Like,
This
I don't
is
know
going to
what
be
I'm
the
doing
third.
here.
I think two out of the last 3 seasons they've made it to the conference finals. So
See what happens.
They're good. Svechnikov is like one of my favorite players. He's so good.
No, they definitely got good pieces. I just hate them.
if they're going to do it, it's going to be this year. One of my brackets, I picked them to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
They
I remember I showed it to Robert when we were at the Thunderbirds game. I showed it to you when we were making them, and you were like, "That's so gross."
Yeah, that was disgusting. No, my bracket's actually good. I think it's definitely Oilers, Florida, like definitely. But that's just me.
I don't know if
we'll see.
One is still
we
perfect.
got good fucking. I love this part of the year. May is the best part of the year for sports.
Then it gets one more month, and then it's just baseball, and then people are like, "Do I jump off the ledge or do I wait till football?" Like,
after the first or second week of June, we go into some dark times.
At least it's nice. No one says that every year. At least it's nice, and we can enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
So,
you get to enjoy outside a little bit, and then when September rolls around, you start sniffing NFL, dude. I just when like the end of July comes, I'm like,
yeah.
You really just have to get through July, because then once you're in August, it's preseason. You're getting news, injuries are happening, draft fantasy is coming up.
When that first preseason game hits, it's like, holy shit! Like,
when I start seeing shit on like ESPN Fantasy of like mock drafts, I'm like, holy shit, bro! Like, it's so close. And then you watch that like Hall of Fame game and you're like, hell yeah. And then you're like, wait, this is like a preseason game. This shit sucks. And then you don't watch the preseason and you're like, let's fucking go, dude. NFL's coming. And then week 1, you're like,
yeah.
Last thing, absolute last thing. Who's winning our league for fantasy this year?
I am.
No, you're not. No,
I am.
You're never winning it.
No, and neither of us are winning it. Nice try. Next
I'm winning.
It's me.
Really?
It's me.
No, it's not.
It is.
He's ass.
It is. No way. I've been sniffing it. So I sniff it every fucking year.
You've been a lot better the last couple of years for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Well, now that I've sniffed it, I'm not letting it go.
Honestly, if Joe is in it, he might.
I'm gonna go back to Eric Barnes again. I think he has a dynasty run. I think 2 out of 3 is possible for him.
Oh man,
it's been a Barnes dynasty actually.
It has. I know.
Yeah, they have Jake 4 out of the fucking 10 people. They have half the league almost.
Crazy. yeah. They do.
So I mean, it's kind of expected.
It's like, can they sell some real estate over there, please? Like, can we done them off? It
will definitely be a bounce back year from Papa Barnes, though. That's for sure.
Yeah,
he's been a tough one. He's been kind of stinky lately. He's been like me. Like
he's been stinky.
He leads the draft. He's like, I really like my team, and then like it's like week 8, and he's 1-7. He's like, whatever.
Nutty professor. It has been bad. It has been bad.
I love that we don't change the names for the most part either. Like,
no.
I'm what am I throw up the X? I almost said Gronk.
Yeah,
but
you are throw up the X.
Yeah.
And then do you have Ray Lewis as your?
No, it's Des Bryant throwing up the X.
It is Des.
Yeah. But he's in a Ravens. I might have to change that to a Cowboys picture, but I have to because I've been playing bad with him in the Ravens jersey. So maybe maybe we found it. We found the key. Yes,
we found the key.
Yes, sir.
We found the key.
Yeah, no, that's for sure what was missing.
That was the original when I was there with Andrew. He's on the Cowboys, so I gotta go back to that.
There we go.
We got it.
All right, now my pick is Sal.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's never happening.
Now my pick is Nolan.
Let's fucking go, dude. Have faith in the man.
That's funny.
It's Bugatti Burrow, bro.
Well,
I like changing it I change my name every year.
I think I do too. Yeah. I try to do it to
my team because like my team always changes, you know.
Yeah.
I might get Joe Burrow again though.
Yeah, you will. You love Joe Burrow.
I love the Bengals.
He's poopy.
The Bengals are going back to the Super Bowl, by the way.
Yes.
No. They're gonna have like the most midseason ever.
Wow.
No. They got it.
They lose to the Patriots, I promise.
Wow.
That doesn't mean they're not going to the Super Bowl though.
Mm.
It could be their only loss of the year.
Yeah. That's a hot take.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, boys. Good talking.
Adios.
Yes.
See ya.